So how did you get your start in music?
My uncle, on my mom's side, mom has a sister, Uncle Randy, as we like to call him. He had a premier drum set, beautiful green drum set that when I was 3 years old, he used to let me sit down at, and he'd put CDs in as far as Third Day and George Strait and any album that he had, and I would play drums to the CD, and that's kind of how my love of music started. Initially, was 3 years old.
And so it started with the drums, and then when did you pick up guitar?
I picked up guitar because my dad, actually in college, played a little bit of guitar, you know, all those 80s junk bands he tried to play. Bought himself like a Gibson 335 and like all this great stuff. But yeah, when I was 6 years old, I remember watching him on his, sit in his chair and just play the guitar, and I was like, man, I could do that. And so I found a chord book and started with A and moved on from there, and that's how the guitar playing started.
Now, what about singing? Did you sing right away, or when did you know that you wanted to be a singer-songwriter?
I started singing out of the womb pretty much because, yeah, well, literally I came out, oh. But we were pretty much like the Von Trapp family singers because Dad retired from the NFL in '93. And so we would go coast to coast, and he had NFL speaking engagements and did a little bit of prison ministry and stuff like that. And so we would sing as a family at the banquets. And so singing has been my whole life, but as far as with the music, it was probably around 6 where I started writing songs, then about 2 years after that.
Now, you have an interesting family. Tell me a little bit about it.
Very interesting. My dad was an NFL football player with the San Francisco 49ers from '85 through '93. 2 years in there, he played with the Philadelphia Eagles. And then my mom was a model for Joan Rivers at QVC in Pennsylvania. And they got hitched in Pennsylvania. Obviously, when Dad went to the Eagles, 2 friends set him up. And so that's how the family started. And in '93, the first one, Devin, was born. And then
No, you didn't say, how many kids were there?
There's 13 kids.
13.
Yeah.
That's a lot of kids.
Yep. Devin, Jordan, Jensen, Denton, Branson, Cameron, Bergen, Kaylin, Hayden, Hanson, Dalton, Jaden, and Dennison.
That's a football team. That's not a family.
It's a great.
Oh my gosh. So what does your family think? Are you the only one that's moved away from this point?
Actually, my younger brother got married last year for the first time when he's 19. And so they actually moved out of the house first. But we have a family business that we all operate called Brewster's Pizza in Wimberley, Texas. And so we all work there. We have no employees. I mean, when you have 13 kids, you don't really need employees. So we all work there. And yeah, my other brother, Denton, is actually doing some mission work as a Burma Army Ranger, which is a mission field over in Thailand. So that's where he is right now. And as far as me, I moved just a couple months ago to Nashville to pursue my dream of country music due to some crazy circumstances, but it's really honored to be here. Love Nashville.
How is that? How do you like Nashville? And you're from Texas,
yes.
Correct?
Yes, originally from Wimberley, Texas. And there's always the mystery of Nashville, really anywhere in the world. But being a music lover and being a artist myself, I wanted to get up here someday, and it all worked out. I met a couple people, and they said, hey, why don't you come on up here? And I came up here. It worked out. The Lord worked it out. So it's really honored to be here.
So you get to Nashville, and I'm assuming it's much different from where you grew up, and especially living in a house with family. It's like here you are in this big city full of some of the most incredible artists and recording studios that the music industry has to offer. What do you think of all of this? What has this experience been for you?
Yeah, I mean, being a small town boy ever since I was little, grew up in Wimberley, Texas. You know, you saw everybody at football games on Friday night that lived in the town. You know, I think we had like 2,500 people or something like that, which I know isn't as small as a lot of towns, but you know, there's 2,500 seats in the football stadium. And then coming to Nashville, it's definitely bigger, but very inspiring. Like, I've wanted to do this my whole life, and it's what I want to do the rest of my life. And so the transition, especially with the family backing me, wasn't as hard as for some people. So just been honored working with great people, and that's just the vibe of Nashville in general. Like, this person knows this person knows this person. So I've been honored to meet a lot of people that have worked with some people that where I'm looking to go, you know, and it's been really cool.
What are some of your favorite places?
My favorite places? Well, I'd have to say anywhere on Broadway is a lot of fun. So like, I mean, Honky Tonk Central, there's Rippy's, there's the Diner, really great food down there. Tootsie's is a lot of fun to go to. And then just the whole sports atmosphere, so like Nissan Stadium with the Tennessee Titans, and you got, of course, the Nashville Predators, which is, I really
almost got the cup last year.
That's why it's hard for me to talk about it. I'm going to start crying. But
cry.
no, I'm kidding. No, it's great. They are. This year we're going to win it. So.
Let's talk more about your music. What are you currently working on right now?
Right now I'm in studio with Chris Wright Productions working on a EP. And so self-written songs, well, I wrote 3 of them. There's actually going to be 4. And the 4th one was actually written by a great songwriter buddy of mine, Scott Barrier and Donna DeSopa, and the others were co-written with Scott Barrier and Gary Cavanaugh and myself. And so it's going to be called Every Time. And yeah, it's going to be. That's the name of the EP. Yeah, it's just 4 tracks. Okay. We're going to come out with it. It's not like an album release or anything like that, but it's just music, new music coming out.
Who are some of the other, now are you writing strictly by yourself right now, or do you have other writing partners?
I have a lot. Like I said, Nashville, it's amazing. You sit down to write with somebody and they've written with one of your favorite country artists. You know, like I wrote with Jane Bach just the other day, and she's had hits with Reba McEntire and Faith Hill and, you know, all these names. And then I'm actually writing with Keith Follace, who he is incredible. His son Ryan actually was the lead singer on Hot Shell Ray. I love that song. Tonight. So
that'll be one of your cover songs.
That's right. It's a little hard for me. He's a little better singer than I am. But no, and so that's been just really honored to get to write with him coming up here pretty soon. So
yeah, Keith is great.
He is. He's amazing.
Where do you get your inspirations for writing songs?
Oh man, I mean, obviously country music is all about life experiences. It's all about real life people stories. And that's mainly where, coming from a young age, I was able to write, I want to say higher up than where I was. Like experiences that I hadn't experienced myself. I love telling people stories. I love stories. I love reading, you know, so I guess maybe that's part of it. But as far as songwriting, I love almost telling someone's story to them, almost like a gift, you know, because that's what country music's all about, and that's why I love it.
I've heard you sing live, and I have seen the reactions of the crowd. Women love you. The guys love you. You're just a favorite of everyone. You have this charisma about you. The songs that you choose and some of the songs that I've heard that you've written yourself are great. What do you feel like is next for you? Are there things you still need to work on right now, or are you ready to just hit it big? Tell me where you're at in your career right now.
Oh yeah, I mean, music is always first. I mean, I love music. I could perform for 5 people, I could perform for 20,000 people, you know, but really the music is what I work for. And that's the best thing, is you can never get to your peak of music. There's always something better you can do. There's always something to work on. And that's what I really love about it, is it's just pursuing that passion. And so no, I don't think I'm never ready. I'm just gonna keep doing it, and trust my work ethic and fire through. Yeah. So it should be fun.
What do you think, so when you're on stage and you're singing live and you've got this crowd of people around you, and you're singing these songs, you know, some of them you're singing to the ladies. Of course. What goes on in your mind when you're singing? I mean, is there a story in your head, or do you just sing the songs? What's happening up there?
Usually it's whatever song you're singing. A lot of people, you know, you're not just going up there and singing a song. Someone took time to write that song and has a story behind it. And so I love to portray that on stage. You go out there and you find a person in the crowd that story belongs to, you know what I mean? Because we all can relate to partying out in a cornfield, or we all can relate to getting our heart broke, you know? And so that's just part of it. And so you find those people and you're sharing that moment with them through the music, and it's real powerful. So I mean, I love being on stage because it just gives you a platform to bring other people up with you. So it's really nice.
As an artist, a singer-songwriter, I know people, they'll have a perception of you. They'll say, hey, this is a great looking guy, or he's got a great voice, but that's a compliment. What is it that you, Jensen Collie, really want people to see you as? Or how would you like people to, you know, what would you like their perception to be when they see you or they hear you sing?
Yeah. Really, my perception that I want is them to be, hey, he's one of us, but he's not afraid to tell his stories. He's not afraid to share it with other people, you know? And so I think that'll bring everybody together, knowing that, you know, we were all going through the same stuff, and that's, country music has no filter, you know, there's no, you can sing about anything. It's all laid out on the table. And so that's what people, I think, will see when I'm on stage. Hopefully, what I portray to them is that we're all in this together, you know.
Let's say 10 years from now.
Yeah.
Where do you see yourself? Where's your career at? What do you want to do? What are your goals?
I mean, my goals, obviously, for anyone, they're looking for record labels and stuff like that. I'd love to be touring. I'd love to be have a George Strait-like career, you know, that lasts for 30 plus years, 40 plus years, you know. Once you're in the music, you know, there's no stop. You know, music is the mistress, as they say. And so I'm in love with music, and hopefully I'll do it the rest of my life. And so 10 years from now, I hope to still be doing exactly what I'm doing, which is making music.
Who are some of the artists that you really, I guess, admire, look up to, and why?
Yeah. Oh, George Strait, being from Texas, he's king. You grow up, you hear Amarillo by Morning was the first country song I ever heard. Fell in love with it at 4 years old when I first heard it. And I mean, so he's really the artist I strive to be, you know, besides his character, his music, his everything. If you go to a George Strait concert, you won't regret it. But then for me, I'm definitely a little more modern country than George. I don't call myself like George Strait. I call myself modern country. So I like a little bit of Florida Georgia Line, you know, a little bit of Luke Bryan sometimes, a little bit of Jason Aldean, you know, so it's a lot of fun.
I am excited to hear your music, and I know a lot of other people are too. So tell us, where can we get your music right now, or where can we hear it or learn more about you?
Yeah, well, I have a website, jensencollie.com. You can go on, and I keep that updated with all my news and my media and all that stuff. Facebook, Jensen Collie, Instagram, Jensen Collie Official, and you can go Jensen Collie Twitter. And so, like I said, I'm not a professional poster yet, but I'm working on it, and so I like to keep everybody updated on what I'm doing.
Well, I'm excited for you, and I wish you all the best in your career. I know you're going to do great. You have everything that it has to take. The first time that I ever heard you sing, I was like, that kid's got something special. You know, you have, yeah, you do have a great team around you, and I look forward to seeing where this goes, and I really believe that Jensen Collie is going to be a household name very soon.
Hope so. Awesome. Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you.